Hey guys, I'm Lydia.
Hi, I'm Jessie.
And I'm Adam. Let's talk Hoya.
Hello everybody, 안녕.
Hola.
Hello. Welcome to Let's Talk Hoya.
Podcast.
Oh, there we go again.
Making the sounds that we have on button.
So today we're just going to have a chit chat type of episode.
But it is a little different, right?
Oh, yeah.
There's something different.
There
about today's
is
episode.
something different.
My hair. No, just kidding.
All of your beautiful faces are being seen by the world.
Yeah. You might be watching us instead of just listening.
But if you're just listening, head over to YouTube. There's going to be video.
So now you can see our faces. So now we're not just in your ears, we're in your eyes too.
You're welcome.
That was like the creepiest way you could have said that. But yes. And now you'll be able to see all the facial expressions we make while making this podcast for you.
Yeah, and all the
You're
times
welcome.
that Jessie rolls her eyes and
I have to try so hard.
And everything.
and falls asleep.
I don't fall asleep.
No,
I
she's
just
never
play
fall-
my games on my
Township.
tablet. Anyway.
So yeah, so you know, Hoya have impacted us in a lot of different ways, and I mean it's interesting because it's a plant, right? But I thought it would be fun to talk about how plants and Hoya have changed our lives. So that's what we're going to talk about today.
That's our episode.
Has it been 5 years of Hoya Hobby?
Yeah.
Definitely,
us,
at least plant hobby, definitely.
Oh, I was like very specifically Hoya. So yeah, maybe 5 years of plant hobby. And I want to
4.
say like 4.5 of Hoya because we were like aeroid babes for like a hot like half a minute.
Well, it was like it
Yeah.
was like any plant that's green or has any plant.
Yeah.
That was for like a while, and then it was like aeroid, and then it went to Hoya.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and today I had my time hop show me like a picture I took of that Carnosa.
I
5 years ago.
That's when you first moved here, right?
Yeah, because I moved here in July of 2019, like the beginning of July. So that was towards the end of it.
Did that bring back all the feels?
Yeah, it's wild. It's wild to think about that. But here we are.
Yeah.
And she's beautiful and she's thriving.
Yeah,
and you're
and-
beautiful and you're thriving.
Thank you.
So
Yeah, she was struggling for a while and I was real nervous. But you know, when I took her outside and did the whole spray down,
She's
then she
looking
perked
really
up.
great right now. Like,
yeah. And then you're like absolute best friend who like helps you with anything and everything. Me helped you repot it and
Yeah,
make it live, right?
exactly.
Just kidding. That was Lydia.
That was a day. The first thing I think of is I don't know if I would be in passive hydro if it wasn't for Hoya.
wow.
And that's kind of wild to think about because
Yeah.
I did it because of that first Hoya order. Mm-hmm. And I was wanting to make sure that they did not die because in my mind, I spent $80 on a plant and that was insane.
Okay, but today you've spent way more than that on a plant.
I know. Yeah. But that, back in then,
Yeah.
2019, but yes, I don't know. Cause I went to passive hydro because I was like, I need to keep this alive and
That's
mimic.
when you were using the tiny little
wee jars.
Yes. Oh, those were the days.
I still have a gaggle of them too.
Oh yeah, I have a whole shelf of them at my house.
Yeah. So, and also that's what Jackie's Jungle in the Desert used was Lekka. And so I was like, I have to copy her because she has the most beautiful Hoya.
Like gorgeous.
Yeah.
To this day, her collection is gorgeous.
Yeah. Also,
Oh.
I say Hoya plural. And someone said something to me in my DMs. They're like, why do you always just say Hoya? And I don't know if it's because the podcast, Let's Talk Hoya, because we don't say Let's Talk Hoyas.
Uh-huh.
Or I don't say I have lots of Hoyas. I always say I have lots of Hoya.
I feel like we need a linguist to tell us what the plural.
What's proper?
Yeah.
What's correct? Are we
But I also don't think
accurate?
I'm going to change.
Yeah, I like Hoya. I feel like it's plural.
Yeah.
I mean, but at the end of the day, people know what you're talking about.
Yeah, no, they didn't
So-
they didn't add, the person wasn't like doing it in a mean way. They were just like, I've always been curious, like if there's a reason you do it. And I was like, no, there's no reason, rhyme or reason. It's just
How it
It's
comes
just
out of
what
your
comes
mouth
out.
hole.
But I think it's because of our podcast name.
Yeah.
And
That makes
that's-
sense.
That's just now it's just a plural.
Yeah, and back when we were naming it, it was just like, ha ha, he he, whatever. And we didn't put much thought to whether it was going to be plural.
I forgot what our other names were. Because there were some other contenders in there. But then did you
Yeah.
say Let's Talk Hoya? Or somebody said Let's Talk Hoya and we were immediately like, yeah.
That was
She
me.
Lydia
did.
did. Okay.
That was
Yeah.
me.
But there were some other ones in there.
That was
There
me. I named it. me only. Okay. We agreed. Lydia searched on like Apple Podcasts, and she was like searching like the most, like all the names we were coming up with
to see if they were already.
to see if they were already taken. See, but I'm also mixing it up with the green plant because that's the one where you wanted it to be like flora something.
Oh, yeah. But there was like a really big plant shop in New York called Flora and Fauna.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but that was for the green plant. So I have no memories of talking over the name of Let's Talk Hoya.
I mean, we definitely did.
Yes, we definitely did. And I remember you were searching on Instagram and searching on the Apple Pod and all the little pod platforms.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of podcasts that start with Let's Talk. Because every time I look for Let's Talk Hoya, I'm like, what are we talking about? There's like 50 things to talk about.
Yeah. And they call like the mascot for one of the colleges, it's a bulldog, but they call it the Hoyas.
What?
Yeah. It's like a college basketball team.
But
Weird.
it's a
Why do they call them
bulldog.
Hoyas?
Georgetown Hoyas. I don't know if like if a bulldog is like a Hoya, I have no idea. But
Because I know
sometimes that
about the
pops
blue
up.
hose, but I think that's from Georgia.
Blue hose.
Yeah, there's a college team whose the mascot is the hose, the blue
Or
hose.
just a blue hose.
Something like that, yeah, because my friend is from
Weird.
there, so she told me about it. It makes me laugh.
Wow.
Yeah, Hoyas have changed our lives. Alrighty then.
Oh, what about you, Jesse?
A big way that Hoyas have changed my life. Hoya.
Sorry, yeah, I don't want
There
to
we go. Now I'm gonna have a complex.
No,
No, it'll go away. Well, I think I've said this before, but like my dad's a landscaper and I've always like had plants in my life, but Hoya and this plant hobby of like 5 years has been the first time that I've had indoor plants. And it definitely, Hoya specifically, with the line of work that I do, came into my life during a really difficult time with my work. So I distinctly remember like times in my life where I would come home just to like water my Hoya, to like spend time with them and talk to them. And it was like therapy, like, cause I've done therapy before and it was like therapy. It was like, I'm going to let things out and I'm just going to focus on nurturing for my Hoya. And I like, that really helped me. So I think that's what keeps them like really special in my life. It's this thing that has nothing to do with my problems, my work, even like all the things I keep myself busy with. Hoyas are always just there.
Yeah.
And like I was recently on a trip and my mom was taking care of my plants and she was like FaceTiming me and watering them at the same time. And she was like, oh, look at this one. I'd never seen this one. And I was just like, oh, how cute. Like she is like not into indoor
That
plants,
is sweet though.
but she knows they're important to me. So she like did that. She like took care of them. And I'm like, that was a cute time for me to spend with my mom, even if we
Yeah.
were just FaceTiming. Like she was commenting on them and how different they are. And she was like, they're all the same species. And I was like, yeah, mom, they are.
Yes, just like humans, there's so many different varieties.
Yeah. But then the funny thing is, she was like, this one looks dead. This one looks dead. This one looks dead. And I was like, don't worry about it, mom. It didn't happen because of you.
Just put it in the bottom shelf.
They were probably already dying or dead when I left. So yeah, I was like, just don't water them, leave them alone. So I do have to go through and like clear out my plant cemetery,
Yeah.
my new members.
The dearly departed.
Yes, our
Honorable
recently
mentions.
departed.
Recently departed.
I was literally gonna go through and like make a list to bring to you guys of like things that I lost before I left, but I was like, no, it's too much work.
Also, you probably don't even can't even identify some of them at this point.
Yeah, that's very true.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because you know how
really.
sometimes she sends a text and she's like, guys, what is this? And we're like,
No clue.
literally, it's like a picture of a stick.
Brown twig.
Or
It's
you
like
do that
a
when you're like-
stick sitting in pond, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
R.I.P. unknown.
Yeah. What about you, Lydia?
Oh, okay. I'm going to say the biggest one for me would be meeting Adam.
Me?
This guy?
Mm-hmm.
Hello. Not more time with me? I'm just kidding.
I mean, been there, done that. No, I'm just kidding.
Okay. I will give you a pass on that. Yeah. But I've been around a while.
You wait till we get in the car.
You drove with me. That's true.
But I feel like even before I met Adam, like you were the Hoya king already at that point, because you were like into Hoya, you were getting Hoya, and like I was watching you on YouTube, and then we went to the plant event, and then like everything just kind of came together because of plants. But then I feel like specifically Hoya too. And so like I'm really grateful that you were in a plant hobby. I was in a plant hobby. And then we met and became really good friends. And now we get to do life together, and we get to do this podcast together. And like, there's just so many good
And
things.
you can never get away from us.
I don't want to.
It kind of took a... Just kidding.
I mean, you did say you were going to kidnap me and keep me in a garage.
Yeah, it was really early on. For some reason, we were really comfortable with mentioning our...
That was after the
Kidnapped.
pandy, when you guys were like, we haven't seen people in a while.
No, but
keeping you in our well.
No, Jesse specifically came up with the well.
I did.
Jesse was the one that came up with the
Puts
well.
lotion.
But then I was like, wait, but we don't have to put him in a well because I have a garage and a couch and it has a swamp cooler in there. So that seems more humane than a well. Like
It's like the humanest form of kidnap.
Yeah.
We have to at least
While
give
the dogs
him
are in the house, you can stay in the garage.
we have to at least provide proper working conditions. Like we
Yeah.
can't just exploit.
We're not the bad kidnappers. We're the good kind.
Good one.
Yeah. So
No cap. Anyway, that's kind of true though. Like that's also a big way that Hoya has changed my life, because making friends as an adult is not easy.
yeah, it's hard.
And so like before moving here and like also moving to a whole new state as an adult is scary, but like I feel like I already had a community of people, and it was because of plants and Hoya specifically that like I had that little community, like our little online friendship that turned into an IRL friendship, gave you that Ratusa, or we traded or something, or I just was like, take it. I don't want it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But I love that Hoya so much still.
No, I gave you an Australis Lisa. Remember that?
did.
Yeah. Which
then I
then ended
gave
up
it
at
to
Jesse,
Jesse.
and then
R.I.P. 2024. Hey, that was a
That
good
one
chunk of
lasted
life.
well,
That was
yeah.
2019 to 24.
I
Or
mean,
like
but you
2020.
did. But from 2019 to 2003, Adam had it.
You know what? The body was at my house when it was deceased. Therefore, it was my contribution.
Yeah.
It decays in my property.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So that's just really helpful for anyone to just have like a community when they leave all the community that they had, so.
Yeah.
And I don't think that would have, I honestly, it's like, I sometimes think about that. Like if plants weren't in my life, or if Hoya weren't in my life, like what would that have looked like for me?
I have a lot of friends who
What would this house look like?
yeah.
I mean, very bare and barren.
Yeah.
Remember that one time we sprayed all of your plants and took them all out, and then we came in and we were like,
did not like it. It was too sterile.
It is like,
Oh, yeah?
100%. It looked
was.
weird.
Like imagine just taking all your plants out. It's just,
Like
It just
nothing
feels
there.
And
weird.
have so much more room. You're right.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
should
for
quit this
Jesse.
hobby.
No, for
No.
Jesse, every square
but
inch
see,
is
you
covered
decorate
with
your
something.
house. Like I don't have
every
anything on
square
the
inch.
walls.
Yeah.
And so like when all the plants were gone, I was like, what's this prison? So
If there's a blank space, something's going up there.
I'll write your name.
Yes, that too. But yeah, I was going to say, I have a lot of friends who have moved or like relocated like late 20s, like early 30s. And the one thing they say is like the hardest is like making friends or like finding a community. And I'm like, yeah, you're brave. I would never move.
Yeah.
But that is true. I hadn't thought about how like kind of with finding the plant community, or like even when I travel, sometimes I'll post on my little Plantstagram like send me recommendations for this state. And like, I'm not going in there without knowing anything.
Yeah.
Like, where are the good plants? And people will like tell you, and it's really cool.
I think that kind of goes for most hobbies. I'm not saying that you shouldn't get into Hoya or plants, but like most hobbies, you're going to have a little community of people wherever. So like if you're having trouble making friends, just start a hobby.
Yeah. Just make sure it's not a cult.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the lines there sometimes are very, very thin and blurred.
True.
Or maybe it's because I've been listening to
Sounds
book.
a bit culty.
Well, the girl who does that podcast wrote a book, The Age of Magical Overthinking, and I just finished it today. It was a really good book.
It's about cults or
Because she talks a lot about cults and like data and like societal movements. Like there's a first chapter is about Taylor Swift. It's called "Are You My Mother, Taylor Swift." It's a really good book. I highly recommend it.
Did you start reading the book because I had Taylor Swift in it?
No, it's because I listened to It Sounds Like a Cult.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh.
But yeah, she does talk a lot about like how, trends and all that, and how we as humans respond to all of that.
Yeah.
What were we talking about?
Hobbies.
Oh yeah.
Hobbies
friends,
and making
but
friends.
blurred lines and
yes,
cults and hobbies.
Yes.
I got cults on the brain. But yeah, no, I think like now that you say that about like having Adam in our lives, that's been a big change. And like looking at it macro, having all these like connections to people who are nowhere like near us. Like when our listeners are calling from Australia and like Netherlands, I would have never talked to anyone from Australia unless they were like, here. So that's been really cool.
And then you'd have been like, wow, you talk funny and I can't understand your accent.
I can't talk about that. I don't want to get canceled. But yes, I have a very difficult time understanding accents. And I don't know why
That's my favorite one, though, I think, Australia.
I definitely have to say the same. Like having all of the connections that gets forged because of plants. I mean, even like when we first got into the hobby, I remember Jesse and I, we drove to Flagstaff, which is, for people who are in Arizona, it's up north. It's like what, 3-ish hour drive or so from here. And we were just up there and like posting on Instagram stories that we were at some random nursery. And then someone reaches out to us and, they were like, oh, I have plants. You should come over to my house. And since then, Juniper Knots, Sarah Ann has become like a good friend. Like we even went and visited her in Alaska because she ended up moving there. And I mean, it's the same no matter where we go. Like I have a friend that, I met through plants and now we're good friends and she lives in New York. I went and saw her this year.
Yeah.
But then anytime we go to like California and Los Angeles and like Yucaipa, like we see April and then, the California plant community. And there's something really special about every place that we go. It almost feels like there's still like a piece of us there, like in a way, because we're connected by something like the shared love for the Hoya. And to me, like there's something really special about that. So
yeah. And also for like introverts, like us introverts, it makes it us, I'm saying me and
I was supposed to say, speak for yourself, sir.
Because most plant people are, but it's easier to form connections with people. And I guess maybe this is the same in other hobbies too, but like we already have something we can talk about. So when it feels awkward or you feel like weird or, shy,
just start talking about plants and then it's like, boom, like we got something to talk about for hours.
Yeah. So
literally,
I don't know. I'm really grateful that plants entered my life because now we're here. And you guys said really sweet things. And I started off with like, I wouldn't have done passive hydro if I wasn't for you. But I also would not have met you guys. So
you're welcome.
And you have changed my life.
For the better, hopefully.
I want to sing Wicked right now, but I'm not going to. For good.
I started trying to listen to that book, but I couldn't get over the person reading it.
Yeah. It's a tough book. That's a tough one to swallow.
Okay. Maybe I'll try physically reading it.
Yeah. It's a difficult one. It's a thick boy.
Yeah.
It's a thick one. But yeah. Anyway.
What about you, Jesse? What's another one?
Another way that Hoya have changed my life. I know so many terms I would have never learned if I wasn't a Hoya.
Oblong.
Yeah, oblong. What is the etymology?
Yeah.
Corolla, corona, peduncle. Like, let me list all the words I've learned. No, but like really, like I've always felt like, oh, I'm a smart person. Like I know a lot of things. And then coming into this hobby, I was like, why hasn't this been like knowledge in my life before? So it's kind of cool. It's like kind of when you go back to school or you like, you know, start something new, like there's so much more to learn. And I'm not like super nerdy like Lydia, who does like research and reads publications, but like still it's been interesting like that all these words are in my life. And then it spreads to the people around you. Like my family are not,
They know what a
people are not,
peduncle is.
they know what a peduncle is. They know what a Hoya is. They know like, they know about them blooming and they'll go to like the stores and they'll be like, Jesse, is this the Hoya? And I'll be like, no, like you can tell by
That's
this,
a
this
lemon
and that.
tree.
Yeah. Yes.
Dang, roasted toasted, man.
Yes. So I think that's cool that like it's something cool to kind of spread around your like people.
Yeah. Also, when you were saying that your mom helped water your Hoyas, I did, because we were away at the same time. I had Steve water mine. I was not as nice to him. Yeah. Because I came home and I think he missed some plants and I was stressed about other things. And so like, as I do.
I mean, I did offer.
I know. And I did say, I was like, next time I'll just have Lydia come over because I know she'll do it correctly. I was mean. I mean, I apologized immediately. I did.
Wait, though.
I felt so bad.
I didn't have a plan for my mom to water my plants because Lydia said, I'm going to come over and check on the tent plants and then I'll just take care of your plants then. She also said, I'm going to come over and spend time with your dogs because I had told her that my mom will feed them and take care of them, but she's not going to like cuddle and snuggle.
Yeah.
And I was going to be gone for 3 weeks. So I was like, that's great. Like, even if you just go once a week, my dogs love you. They know you.
Snuggle.
Yeah. My plants will like, you know, be like, what is this like life's change that we now get watered? My girl never went to my house. Never. Like literally, if my mom hadn't taken it upon herself to water them, because I didn't even ask her to. I was like, you know what? Whatever dies.
Whatever happens.
And she was like, hey, I'm watering your plants. Can I call you just to like make sure, you know,
You're doing it right?
I'm doing it right. And I was like, Mom, just take water from the hose or like from the tap and pour a little bit in each tray. Like I'm not going to like ask you to do anything specific because I had left my like mixing chemicals and everything up. And I was like, oh, I want everything to be easy for Lydia. So maybe it was good you didn't take her up on it because all your plants would be dead.
No.
But then she sent photos of like your mom like laying with the dogs, and then she's like, "Oh, my mom's watering the plants." I was like, "Oh, she's got it handled, perfect."
I would feel, well, I don't know your mom as well as probably Lydia does, but I would feel awkward like being there if your mom was there. I feel like I was invading space.
Well, no, like sometimes my mom works like
all day.
Morning to night.
Yeah.
So I was like, these are the days she's not there, but bleep your plants and your dogs. There, let's cut out.
Did you see my eyes go?
Yeah.
This is a clean rated podcast.
Yeah, my bad. Bleep your plants and your dogs.
No,
You keep your personal feelings.
No, I'm just teasing. I know that Lydia would have done it. Lydia's done so much in my life, so.
Yeah.
But it was just funny. I had to call her out on that. She was like, next time, just make me in charge. I'm like, maybe not.
How about no?
No, because I know that like both of you are busy. Both of you, like, you have a whole household and like all these dogs to take care of. You have like 500 plants at your own house. Like, and that's why I try to not ever ask for help.
Oh gosh. Yeah. But you know, sometimes it's better helping somebody else than dealing with the crap that you've been putting off at your house.
True.
So I sometimes enjoy helping people because like I can get stuck in my ways and I have to do things in a certain like order, kind of like how you do dishes.
Yeah.
You know, and then that kind of thwarts you. But if you're in someone else's house, you're like, well, I don't care how they do things. I'm just going to clean up like I would clean up.
Yeah, just do it and then be done.
Yeah. I was not that nice to Steve though, because I I was, those times where you're like you've made all these mistakes before and you just don't want the next person to make the same mistakes.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, don't give too much water because it'll flow out and then you have to clean up the shelves. And that's a nightmare to like when it goes out of the shelves and starts dripping down. But then I think that made him nervous and he didn't put enough water in. So it was like, and I also said like, just look in the cash po just to make sure it's good. But listen when the pot goes down to make sure it doesn't hit water. Anyway, I think I just stressed him out and I'm so thankful for this man. And that's why I felt like a jerk, but I did go off.
So if Steve
But it
were
wasn't
here
because of the plants.
and Steve was asked, what did Hoya bring to your life? He'd be like stress, anxiety, depression, no self-worth.
I know, for real though. But he, like you said, like he knows some of the Hoya. Like he starts knowing names. It's like really cute. So our hobby impacts our circles, our bubbles of influence.
Whether positive or negative.
Spheres.
There's an effect.
Our spheres of influence.
Spheres of influence.
I feel like one of the biggest things that Plant and Hoya have taught me is just maybe a little bit of discipline and not giving up somewhat. I don't know.
Were you a giver-upper before?
Not really a giver. Well, maybe. Like when you kind of start hitting up against like hurdles or challenges, like pests or whatever, flat mites, like, yeah, there are moments where I'd be like, I'm just done.
Mm-hmm.
But then I look and I see these plants and I love them. And I like can remember the stories of who gave them to me or what was going on in my life when I bought them. And I was like, I can't give up on that.
Mm.
So
Perseverance.
Yeah.
Persistence.
And also
determination.
Watching them just like get all wrinkly and just be like, and then bounce right back.
SpongeBob
like,
status.
Yeah.
SpongeBob. SpongeBob status. Yeah.
But like
Take that, sweet
it's just, I don't know. It's kind of nice.
Yeah.
But there's something else out there bigger than me that I need to take care of. So that helps, and I've said that before too. Like when you're in the throes of depression fits and you just don't want to do a dang thing. Like I don't want to get off the couch and.
I wonder if that's how people with children feel.
Oh gosh.
Like I do not want to get up today.
That would be so worse though, I think. Well, yeah. No offense, kids.
No offense, people with kids.
But like our plants, it's like, oh, well, if I don't feed you today, whatever. But it's like, you can't be like, oh yeah, I'm just not going to not feed you 3 meals today.
Yeah. This empty shelf behind me, those have all been in the bathtub for like since 4 days.
Time? Oh, it was like since last time we were here.
Yeah. But maybe I'm just testing to see if it forces them to flower.
There you go.
No light in there.
Just give it a scientific reason.
Yeah.
Reason.
It's all for research purposes.
Yeah.
Me too. That's why I neglect my plants.
Well, you got to see what happens. You know, we don't know.
Yeah, they could grow legs.
Studying.
Jessie is scientifically trying to see how far she can neglect her plants before she has 0.
Yeah. Yeah. I was talking to one of our peduncle pals, John, about how he was telling me he might like take a break from buying plants. And I was like, yeah, now that I'm on a break, I have a lot less plants, a lot more room on my shelves. It turns out I was just replacing them. But yeah. Now that it's dwindling, it's August. Like I'm almost
a year
into
How is it already August?
I know.
Isn't that wild?
I don't know. I don't want to believe it.
Time actually scientifically does go quicker.
She missed her cue there.
I know. I was waiting for it.
Because the thought on my mind actually was August 1st is the commencement of fall.
Is it?
No, it isn't.
In your mind?
In your mind, maybe.
Yeah, for all of the, like fall spooky season, like, holiday lovers, August 1st is the first day you can officially take out your pumpkins, take out your your ghosts.
Your ghosts.
I don't know about you, but nothing screams fall like a goose. Affleck.
I thought she had said goose. Yeah, I like the Affleck one. I was like, I didn't know there was a goose thing.
Your ghosts, your ghouls, the spookies. Like, we are in prime time season. Day 1.
August. Now, I feel like that's too soon. September.
August is Taylor Swift month. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but the fall season has been around way longer than her. So goodbye.
You want to be really careful what you say next, Lydia. I'm just like,
I mean, I wasn't going to say anything next. Period. Done. I said what I said.
Anyway.
Yeah. What are some other ways that the Hoyas have impacted your guys' lives?
Yeah, I mean, the other one is because Jessie did mention herself earlier.
How dare I?
But I mean, we've said before, like, you know, Jessie and I have been friends for a really long time. And so through that, you know, like, especially in adulthood, like the time that we can spend together has ebbed and flowed drastically. And I feel like when we both got into plants, that was a time that we really got to spend more time together. Like, I would always drive over to her house and we would go plant shopping and, you know, just like all of those things. And I feel like that was really like a starting point where we started seeing more of each other like in our adulthood, and it's really kind of just continued to carry on. But a lot of that is because of plants. So
that's true. I might not even be her friend anymore if it wasn't for plants.
Because she wouldn't come see me. She was like, "You just live 30 minutes away. That's so far." And I was like, that makes no sense, but okay. I mean, you go see your parents that live 20 minutes away. I'm only like another 15-minute drive from there.
Yeah, but
so
you're not there anymore. So
yeah,
now you're closer.
Yeah, but I'm still always the one that goes over.
Mainly because I feel bad that the velociraptors have to be put away when I'm at your house. And the fin.
Who literally doesn't care.
No, but I still feel bad. But yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
No, that is true. It does create a lot of quality time for me and my besties.
Yeah, I mean, these plants have like really taught us how to care for things. I don't know, but you guys have dogs. That teaches us how to care for things. I've been caring for things.
I've been caring for me, myself, and I.
That's right. Try being my size, Amy. That felt very Amy Coda.
Yeah, it was.
The accent.
The accent.
Tammy vibes.
Oh, Tammy. Yeah.
But you had a dog too.
Yeah. It's just, there's just, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine life without Hoya. Now, I don't know if it'll always be this many or what, but like there's going to be a Hoya in my life for the rest of it.
Forever, yeah. When I die, like put me in hydroponic little bowls and make me...
I thought Jessie was going to be like, bury the plants with me. They're going to die anyway.
No, I want you to make me some sort of little
Jessie fertilizer
or hydroponic bowls, and then
Ramal.
I will keep the Hoyas.
Well, actually,
Ramalas
though,
fluval?
Yeah.
One day when you die...
Why is this fluval so dark?
Okay, put a little cream in there.
One day when you die, though, and your plants are still there, that's going to be like the beginning of opportunity for them to thrive and live for a long time.
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah.
One person gone, opportunity for another.
Dang.
Deep.
Just for that, I'm going to die first, and you're going to have to deal with that.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
At least there's only going to be like 5 plants.
Lydia is going to be on...
I meant you're going to have to deal with my death, not the plant.
I could, when you guys are both very old, I could see Lydia being like on her deathbed and you just walking and be like, I'm jumping out the window because I'm going first.
Yeah.
You'd be like,
literally. Literally.
Well, I've planned 3 funerals, so I got it down pat.
Exactly. I'm good.
Yeah.
Also, no, I'll talk about it on Patreon. Never mind.
Yeah, because I was going to get fiery.
Yeah,
Did you see that?
yeah.
Also, it was like a straight vertical.
No, it was just, yeah, but Patreon. Remind me to tell a story. One time I said that on an episode and I forgot to tell the story on Patreon, but now I don't even remember what the story was.
I was about to say, you should like make a little memo on your phone because I'm not going to remember to have you tell your story. B, you're not going to remember what the story is. And this is going to be us when we're 90. I hope you know that.
Yeah. You should...
Oh,
just
God.
doing voice memos and...
I meant to write what I was trying to write, but then I put Jessie Cakes.
yesterday,
That's what your that's what your substrate's going to be called.
Jessie Cakes.
Jessie Cakes.
I like that.
And it'll be in a bright, hot pink bag.
Nothing roots like
Like Jessie Cakes.
Jessie Cakes.
Can we mold them? No, I can't say this. That's Patreon stuff. But yesterday she came to my house and she put the root beer in the freezer, and like literally I had like 3 different reminders and alarms on because we could not forget the soda was in the freezer.
Yeah,
and I was like, that's definitely gonna be us. We're old. Hopefully you guys enjoyed looking at us today, because like who doesn't? But.
Yeah, this is
Everyone give a pose to the camera.
But let us know if you like this. If you don't like this, also let us know.
They're like, oh,
I know. Please go back to before we couldn't see you.
But we also want to know how Hoya have impacted your life too. So make sure you drop us a line on Instagram. Let us know. Tag us in a story post. Even if you have a photo with that Hoya that you're talking about. Just all of the things. We want to, I don't know. One thing that I appreciate about being on video is that it feels like it's more of a connection, but we also want to feel that with you guys. So we would like to hear your stories. Like we love that interaction. So head over to our Instagram at lets.talkhoya. And you can also follow us individual. For a second, I was like, is that the right one? It's been so long since we've said that.
Yeah.
You can also follow us all individually. My Instagram is at notdude.
I'm at thegreenplant.az.
And I'm at Perritos y Plants. Adios.
Annyeong.
Bye.